In this lesson, we're going to talk about ordering rational and irrational numbers. So here we have our problem. Order these numbers from least to greatest, from least to greatest. If you'll notice, in this particular set of problems, we have some decimals, a fraction, and we have a square root. We know that from the past lesson, when we were comparing square roots and rational and irrational numbers, that the easiest way to compare these is to square all of these. That will take our 2 from underneath the radical, and it will allow us to compare the rest of these. So let's begin with that. We know we're going to square the 2, and when we square the square root of 2, we actually just get 2. Then let's square each of the others. So let's square 1.1. 1.21. Then we'll go ahead and square that one, 1.01 times 1.01. So we get roughly 1.02. 1.0201. So we've squared the 1.1 and we got 1.21. So 1.21 here for this. And we squared the 1.01 and we got 1.02. 1.02. So that leaves us left to square the 9/7. Now to square the 9/7, we're going to square the top and the bottom. That's going to give us 81 over 49 because 9 squared is 81 and 7 squared is 49. And then we'll divide those two. We really don't have to go much further than that. 1.6 will tell us what we need to know. And now we simply have to compare our different numbers. This one appears to be the smallest number that we have, so we'll begin by writing it out from least to greatest. So 1.01 is our first one. After that, the next biggest one is 1.1. And after that comes 9/7. And then after that is the square root of 2. And there we have them from least to greatest. Now you could just put those in your calculator if that's permitted on the test or on the exercise. Punch them in your calculator, convert them to decimals, and then put them in order that way. Let's try another example. Now in this problem with rational numbers, putting them in order is going to require that we find a common denominator. Alternatively, again, you can punch them in your calculator and get decimals, but let's find a common denominator and compare them that way. So what's the common denominator for 4, 3, 5, and 6? Well, we could try 12, we could try 24, but neither one of those will 5 go into. So it turns out that 60 is the least common denominator. So let me show you how I got that. We're going to list out all the multiples of 6 since it's the largest, and we're going to look for multiples that 5 will go into. Hey, 5 will go into that one, but 4 won't, so that one won't work. 60, hey, 6 will go into that one, 5 will go into that one, 3 will go into that one, and 4, it turns out, will also go into that one. None of these will work, but 60 is our common denominator. So let's figure out what that means. So we'll put 60 on the denominator for all of these, and we'll figure out what needs to go into each one of these. What do I need to multiply by the bottom for each one of these to get 60? And it turns out that I can do that fairly quickly. 4 goes into 60 15 times. So I'm going to multiply the bottom by 15 to get 60. That means I have to multiply the top by 15. That's going to give me 45. 45 sixtieths. Over here, 3 will go into 60 20 times. So that's going to give me 20 on the top to multiply, and that's going to give me 80. 5 will go into 60. How many times? 12 times. So 12 right there. And 3 times 12 is 36. And then 6 will go into 60 10 times. So multiply the top by 10 as well. That's going to give me 50. And then I just put these in order, right? So the first one is going to be 36 sixtieths or 3/5. So that one will come first. And then we have 45 sixtieths, and that's 3/4. And then we have 50 sixtieths, and that's 5/6. And then we have 80 sixtieths or 4/3. And we've put them all in order. Once again, you can punch those in your calculator and do it as well.